It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live on WBON TV and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse and join us here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair and Nuevo Vallarta. And now let's go live to your hosts, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into Madison Central High School. We are inside the football press box, Samantha, which tonight serves as the service area for the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show because we are going to be joined tonight by the Madison Central dance team. Obviously, some big things happening here at Madison Central. We had the dance team last weekend with the national championship. The cheerleading squad did it this weekend. We've got the dance team on with us here tonight.
That's exactly right, and boy, are we super excited to have them here. They've got a lot of seniors, so we're bringing on the seniors. We've got the two coaches, and I'm just as a proud dance mom, and I know the coaches have to be proud coaches. And it's really been an exciting year with COVID, and I'm anxious to find out how they handled everything, how they had to quarantine, what was practice like, was it different? You know, things are just not back to normal completely. Yeah. And not only have they had nationals, but they still have to go to 2 more competitions. So how is all that going to work? You know, it's kind of crazy. So this is kind of unusual how we are here today. Yeah. Austin's managing the station up on top. But it's kind of cool. We're standing. We're getting to watch spring football. The track team's here. There is a lot happening right here today at Madison Central.
Well, we've got the two coaches over on the other side, but before we talk to them, tell us exactly what went down last weekend and the awards they brought home.
Wow, let me tell you something. I mean, they were pumped. And on Saturday, they had all the prelims. And they don't need to hear it from me. They need to hear it from the coaches and the girls. But we had prelims on Saturday, and then they had finals on Sunday. And they even had better scores on Sunday than they did on Saturday. So this team just keeps getting better and better. And as a coach, I would think that's all that you want. You want them just to keep improving and just keep getting better. So let's talk to them because I think it's pretty cool to have a national title. Yeah. And not only that, but I mean, they had 2 other dances that they got in the top 5 in. So it's extremely excited. So we'll let them share.
Well, let's talk to the coaches. Coaches, first of all, congratulations. And you bring home those 2, the national championship, the other 2 awards as well. Just talk about what that weekend was like. And we know you had some issues leaving Kentucky. So talk about that and just the trip itself.
Well, thank you for having us tonight. Our trip it started off with lots of excitement. We got to the airport and, of course, had a little problem with the airplane. Luckily, we were able to deplane and get on a safe aircraft. The girls had an impromptu practice in the terminal. I think that really just kind of pumped them up for the weekend and realized that we've learned how to be flexible this year. And the girls just completely took it in stride and loved being able to perform there in the airport in front of anybody that was eating or just walking through. We arranged all of our practice schedule with NDA. They were very flexible with us, and we literally took our bags into the venue that evening, and they dumped their bags out right there in the lobby and got ready for their warm-ups. So it was pretty impressive that they were able to transition, being tired, being in an airport all day, and then to walk away with a first, second, and a third place in the finals was an incredible end to a great weekend.
Well, talk about that. Like you talked about the first, second, and third, so there was different divisions. Kind of break down the divisions and what exactly those are.
Do you want to go? We competed in small varsity jazz, and we took home 2nd place in that. We competed in large varsity pom, 3rd place. And then our game day is what we won national champions in, 1st place. And that is large varsity too.
And that's the first time in school history that that's been done. And it's got to make you feel good because of the year itself and how it was. And you had the COVID issue within the team. So, I mean, it's just been one thing after another to kind of see it all come together. It's got to make you all feel good, right?
Absolutely. These girls this has been the thing that they've been fighting for. And as Samantha said, you know, we've still got 2 more competitions coming up in May. So we're enjoying this ride, and just hopefully these last 2 competitions will continue just to build the excitement for this program because these girls have really laid a foundation for greatness.
Coaches, tell us about quarantining. Did anybody get COVID? Like, how difficult was it to fulfill your practice schedule and to keep everyone on track? Did you have to do Zooms? Like, what all took place this season?
We did have several dancers that did end up with COVID. So there was quarantine time for the entire team, which was good. We gave the girls workouts to do, which they did at home. And then, surprisingly enough, we would do practice through Zoom. And, initially you think, how in the world is that going to work? But the second routine, actually, in our game day combination, we learned the entire routine through Zoom. And It was one of those, everybody was on the screen, everybody learned the moves, we got back together, and it worked. And that was part of the combination that we won with. So, it's been tough. We'd be at practice for a week, we'd be off, some time, but everybody was focused and had the end in sight and knew what they wanted.
That takes really a special, unique group of young women, young athletes to be able to perform and conquer all this quarantining. I mean, you've got a great group of seniors this year.
Absolutely. We're losing 9 girls this year. So these girls started with me when I began coaching 5 years ago, and some of them were 8th graders. And then the rest of the girls came in as freshmen the following year. So it's just been very awesome for them to see the progression of the program from 8th grade until their senior year. And they had high goals set, and, we've accomplished one of those big goals, and we just hope to continue as we move towards region and state here with KHSAA competitions.
When you look at how the season was handled, obviously it wasn't the typical year for you or the girls, and, I remember walking through the hallways of the district tournament and seeing you all in the hallways kind of just hanging out, waiting for the next game in between the games, and they would make everybody else leave. So just talk about the camaraderie on the team and how they were all able to come together, come through this crazy year that it was, and then eventually do what you all did last weekend.
I feel like the girls just, as we said earlier, just had to be flexible. You've got to just, I feel like they love one another, they support one another, and we had these goals set. The girls wanted to be there. It was the one constant thing that they've had all year. And just the fact that our Board of Education allowed us to travel was such an exciting thing for us. And, for dance and for cheer, being able to come back as national champions, I just think that's an incredible testament for our county. Madison Central Athletics is definitely thriving right now.
So, definitely unusual this season. You're actually doing state competitions after national competitions. Tell us how that's all going to work, and where are you guys traveling to?
Well, we are going to be heading to Letcher County Central. They divided the state into 2 big regions, and we will be traveling there on May the 9th. And we will be competing 2 of our routines there. That is the rules for KHSAA. And then if we qualify, state would be the following weekend, and that will be at George Rogers Clark in Winchester.
So you talked about the regions. Letcher County Central is up. That's a long. It's almost like a trip to Florida itself. That's a long drive up through there. So how are the regions divided in dance when you got the 11th region for basketball as all the kind of the schools here in Central Kentucky, but it's not the same way as it is in dance?
They have, this year is just completely different, of course. The years past, they've done sections, and there were 4 sectionals for dance. And this year, after the different schools declared what they were going to compete, they just decided to do 2 big regions instead of what we've typically done in the past.
So it's pretty interesting, because you said that's a long drive up through there. So do you have plans as far as maybe going up early and staying and then coming back after the tournament is over, if you will, or how is that going to work?
Well, we are actually just waiting to get the order of appearance for that day, so we'll just kind of take it day by day until we get the final setup from KHSAA.
And as coaches know, that costs more money.
Yeah.
So in a year of quarantining and all the COVID procedures and protocols, it's difficult to raise money right now. Talk to us about that. Have you guys found out, as coaches and as a team, has this year been more challenging to try to raise funds?
I think probably overall, yes, because I think just in the COVID, shutdown, it affected a lot of businesses. but we have been very, very fortunate. We did a sponsor, we let the girls get sponsors in the fall, and we got a ton, I would think. And then right before we went to nationals, we did another push, just because, we needed that funding. And I'm amazed at how many companies gave and were willing to. And I think that just goes back to how Madison County is and how it supports the businesses here in Richmond, support Madison Central. And, the fact that the board let us all go, they're like, yes, anything we can do to help. And so we were very fortunate in that aspect.
One thing I always like to ask coaches when we have them on is throughout the year, there's always funny stuff or just crazy stuff that happens. Is there you got any cool stories that you could tell us for the folks that aren't around the team as much or maybe didn't get to see them this year because of the COVID restrictions and coming to games? Was there any kind of funny stories that happened throughout the season you can tell us about?
There's always funny stories with
With
these
this
girls.
group, I'm like, it's on the daily.
They're just, they truly are sisters with one another, and sometimes I think they look at Michelle and I and think of us as their older sisters, the way they behave. It's hilarious. We have a great time with them, and, just hopefully with all of it, through the good times and the bad, we can cry, we can laugh. I would think that the girls will be able to share lots of good times with you when they're on here in a little bit.
So typically some of the teams in the past, I know my middle daughter, they always had superstitions. Do you find that this year's team, did you guys have any superstitions, any, stuffed mice that you had to carry around this year?
We did take one of the mice with
So
us.
it did. It kept bringing good luck.
We did take one with us this year, yes.
That's right.
Well, when you look back on the year, what or was there ever a moment where you're like, okay, yeah, we can do this. We can make history at the school. You look at with the basketball team, there was a moment where you realized, okay, they're finally starting to put it together, and they made that an incredible run to the state tournament. So was there ever like one moment where you realized, oh, man, we've got something special here?
I think district tournament and region is just a time when the kids actually saw some normalcy with being able to perform in front of a bigger crowd. And I think they got a lot of feedback from people, on social media just saying, wow, the dance team is looking very, very incredible this year. I think that was kind of a turning point because they could see that there was the community behind them. I don't think they ever questioned it, but it was just the fact that they were getting feedback and getting recognition to see all of their hard work was paying off.
Well, I know one of the videos that we posted up, Samantha, you got that for us during the district tournament. It was one of the most watched videos we've had of the entire year. And people that, I would share, people from my hometown were commenting. It was just an incredible thing. And then, obviously, when you look back at those 9 seniors, they've been very important to you, not only this year, but years past as well. So just talk about them and what it means to accomplish this with those 9 seniors.
The seniors definitely have a special place for both in our hearts. We just can't wait to see what the future holds for them. I hope, and I know Michelle hopes, that they'll be back to contribute and give feedback. We love when our alum comes back to support the dancers, and just it's a family, and we just want to make sure that the program continues to grow. And I think these seniors really know that the younger kids that are in middle school really look up to them, and they pride themselves in that.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you all coming on with us. We've got 6 of the 9 seniors here with us tonight, Samantha, so we'll take a short commercial break. We'll come back. We'll bring those ladies in, and we'll talk to them about the season that they had and see if we can get some cool stories on the coaches. Coaches couldn't give us much. We'll see if they can give us something, all right?
Thank you.
That's when we come back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Hey, why aren't you watching these 30-second walk-arounds?
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 Northwest Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Welcome back into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins here with you. Samantha, we've got football on one side, softball on the other, baseball, tennis. I saw a guy doing some pole vaulting, not pole vaulting, where you throw the big heavy ball. I don't know what that's called.
I don't really know.
But they're out there doing it. Listen, I love being here with spring sports right now and seeing everything going on. But the real party's in the press box right now. We got
That's right.
6.
And we're still being safe. I
Exactly.
mean, we don't have our mask on, but we're in one press box. They're in another
Yep.
press box. They're wearing their mask. It's still important because COVID's not over, as we all know. So
Yeah.
trying to keep all the athletes safe. But what's important is, like you mentioned, we're having events.
Yes.
Track's here, football's here. They're all performing. And so I feel like the energy is back.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the momentum right now with Madison Central Athletics. It's definitely there with the way the basketball team played, and then making their run to the state tournament, the dance team, cheerleading
swim
team.
team,
Exactly.
the dive
everybody's
team.
killing it right now.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 6 of the 9 seniors, and here's the thing. They all told me their names, but the only one that I remembered was Abby because she works at Jack Burford Chevrolet.
Right.
So I'm going to have each one of them kind of go through, say their names, and then we'll talk to them about kind of how the season
Tell
went.
us how long you guys have been dancing.
go.
Like,
Yeah,
say
yeah,
your
kinda
name,
give us
tell
an
us how
idea.
long. Who's going to go first?
Hello, my name is Riley, and I am a 5th-year senior, and Roll Tribe.
My name's Kylie. I'm a 4th-year senior. Roll Tribe.
My name's Savannah. I'm a 4th-year senior.
My name's Kaylin. I'm a 4th-year senior.
My name's Casey, and I'm a 3rd-year senior.
My name's Abby, and I'm a 4th-year senior.
All right, so ladies, here's what I got to know. So you all were ready to go. You're ready to fly down to Florida, and then the plane issue happens.
The windshield.
So you get out, and you're going to basically practice inside of the airport. Got people watching you, and you're kind of used to that, but this year obviously is a little bit different. Just talk about that and kind of what that scene was like, kind of getting your performance out there and doing it in front of people inside the airport.
Really, we obviously didn't do it full out because we were in the middle of an airport, but there were lots of like little girls and a bunch of little boys just watching us and just looking up to us, and that was kind of cool because we just realized like what an impact we make on everyone, not just like in our county. And that's not like unusual for us. We will practice anywhere and everywhere wherever we can.
All right, guys, your coaches told us how you had Zoom practices. Some people had COVID. You guys had to quarantine. One of you guys, tell us how difficult that was trying to learn dances via Zoom.
Well, of course, it was not easy by any means. But, of course, the start of the season, we were really unsure about any sports that we would be able to perform at. Basketball and football was still in question. So we actually started off on Zoom, and then most of the team, we actually had COVID cases. So just during that time, a lot of us rested, but then we still logged on to Zoom. Those of us that had to follow the return to play, we sat our time out, but we still joined in with our team. We still took in corrections. We really had to learn how to utilize all of our time wisely because we knew that we still were limited, and that we had to just learn how to take in every single moment that we possibly could to practice for our upcoming season and do the very best that we can.
What was the craziest thing that happened during the year? Obviously with COVID and having to quarantine, all that stuff, but was there anything that just kind of threw you off for a loop that you weren't really ready for?
I think honestly just how big of the outbreak of cases we had at once. There was, I think, 11 of us that got COVID at once, so it was kind of like crazy that all of a sudden like we were shut down again, and then getting back into it, having to learn a whole routine through Zoom. That definitely wasn't normal, but I think it really made us stronger in the fact that you really have to focus and you really have to put forth the best effort for your team.
They had to do workouts on Zoom too, and do them and then turn them in. So can you imagine doing that and somebody going, your form's not that good doing that?
I just recently started working back out, and every time I try to do a workout, the trainer says, okay, your form's off. So my form's always off no matter what exercise I'm doing.
But if you're doing it on Zoom, it's there forever for somebody to watch it.
Exactly. They can critique me better.
You know what? Well, let's talk about nationals, girls. You guys got to Florida, got in your rooms, it's time to practice. Tell me how exciting it is to, you never knew until probably March, that you were actually going to be able to make this trip and make it all happen.
Yeah, we were so excited to just be there, and it really puts into perspective how lucky we were and how grateful we are that we still got to dance throughout COVID. And when we got to nationals, it was just like straight adrenaline from the time we got there till the time we left. And winning, it was kind of the cherry on top to all of the things that we've had to overcome this year. And as a senior, it's something that I don't think any of us will ever forget.
Having a 4-year-old daughter now, I've become to learn about the JoJo bow. So I really wanted to ask you all about meeting JoJo, the girl that's kind of the JoJo bow, from Dance Moms. So talk about what it was like to meet her.
Well, we were all just sitting at dinner in Splitsville and Disney Springs, and one of my teammates actually looked at me, and she says, "Abby Gossett, it's JoJo Seawall." And I was just like, what? And I look over, and I see that big bow, and I tell the rest of the table, and I'm like, guys, JoJo Seawall's here. And then some of us were crying and just freaking out and just so excited. So then Miss Brumley goes over and asks her if we can get a group picture. So we just go over and get a picture, and she was just really nice overall.
That's how I would be if I saw Tom Brady. I would cry. I might run up and jump in his lap or something. I don't know if that would be good or not. But
you'd be like, can I have a picture?
Yeah. But that was after you all had won the national championship already, correct?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. You do that, and then you get this other cool thing to happen. So that's pretty impressive. But when you all look back on the trip down there, when you reflect back on it, I remember seeing the video of the celebration. There were tears. There was, laughing. I mean, there was just a little bit of everything.
And
because
after that, they had to watch their awards on Facebook. That's how they found out.
Yeah. So just talk about what that was like and not being able to really experience that, having to do it through a screen, and then getting that call or seeing that your name is on there and you're national champions. What was that like?
So, of course, it would have been great to experience it on stage and having to be around all of the other teams and them presenting us with our trophy right in front of our faces whenever they called our names. However, it just felt so unreal. It felt so good to just be there with my team. I just felt so blessed in that very moment. Of course, we have been blessed throughout this whole season. But it just felt so good. As a senior, this has been one of, I think we can all say one of our top things that we've been working towards since we've been on the team. And we knew that we just had to go out there and we killed it. And ultimately, no matter the result, we knew that no matter what, that we were proud with how we had come together during the season and through the hard times and everything. But in that moment, it just felt so good. It felt so unreal. Honestly, still sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if we really did that. It just still sometimes doesn't even seem real, but it felt so good, and still to just be there and celebrate with my team. And at least we weren't all separated in that sort of way.
And you guys come back, you've got your black jackets, you're
Someone
wearing
offer
those.
us, by the way.
Yeah,
someone turn around and show us off the jacket.
You're wearing them to school, I hope. What does everybody say when they see you in the hallway? They've had to see and they know, obviously.
I think coming back, just getting to walk through the school in that jacket just was such an unreal feeling. Like, I just feel like from 8th grade up to now, I've always been like, I want to bring home that jacket. I want to wear it to school. And getting to actually do that feels so unreal. And all the teachers are congratulating you. And all these people in the hallways are congratulating you. And you're like, I've never even spoke to you before, but thank you. It's just kind of like, it kind of shows that our school has our back and everybody's so excited for us. It's just a great feeling.
Well, we talked to the coaches, we asked them about if there was any cool stories they could share. And they said to ask you all. So pass the mic around. If you've got a couple of different stories you want to tell us about the season, if there was something funny that happened, something kind of wild. Anything like that, that would be a cool story for the folks watching back home.
Yeah, well, towards the beginning of the season, we were practicing like kind of random days, and it was kind of inconsistent for a while. And there was actually one day that Abby, Casey, and I all showed up for practice, and there was not practice. And we were so confused and just kind of sat in the parking lot for a while, and we ended up talking and laughing about it. And once we figured out that we didn't have practice, but that's just a memory that I won't ever forget from this year because it wouldn't have probably happened any other year. But yeah, that was funny.
Anybody else got another one they can tell? See, I've got a bunch on Samantha, but I can't tell because she talks about John all the time. I got to take up for him whenever he's not here.
I can tell you a quick one on my daughter. Like, she brought the wrong uniform to one of the district games. Granted, thankfully we live, 5 minutes away. But I mean, just during this COVID time, things can just be challenging. There was a couple of girls that brought the wrong uniform, so it can be crazy during COVID. But now you guys are getting ready. Obviously you're supposed to have region and state and then nationals, but it's a little different this year. So how are you going to stay focused, and how are you going to prepare for the next competition and then try to make it to state?
So, of course, we feel so honored to be able to wear these black jackets. However, as a senior, I know that this season is not over yet, and I'm going to do the very best that I can, and I think that my teammates that are with me here today, we're going to do the very best that we can as seniors to let them know that the season is not over yet. Just because we came home as national champions, that does not mean, if anything, that means that everyone is out for us now. They're ready to beat us. They're ready to get back on top, but we are going to do whatever we can to stay on top, and whether that means hard work or running or whatever it may take, we're going to do it because we are currently on top and we are here to stay. So we just hope, we just have to keep on pushing. In the past, most of the time it is nearly the same team that gets us every time, and we are ready this year. Like, we are ready. We're going to keep on pushing because I'm ready to have that state championship title.
So there's 9 seniors total. There's 6 of you all over there. Can you give us the names of the 3 that aren't here? I know 2 of them had to be at work, and just kind of let us know who wasn't able to make it tonight.
Our 3 seniors, Bella, Lakin, and Kaylin, weren't able to make it tonight, but Bella and Lakin are definitely the life of the party of this team, so we miss them a lot. And Kaylin's just a cute little tiny thing. We love her so much, and she definitely helps to carry our team a lot, so we really wish that they could be here with us today.
Now, are any of you girls thinking about trying out for a collegiate team? Who's going where and what's happening?
Okay, so this is a big moment, I guess, because I've not said this to a lot of people. So I will be furthering my academic career at the University of Kentucky, and I do plan out I have to actually turn in a video by Thursday to get an invite to tryouts, and then from there, tryouts will be May 14th, 15th, and 16th, which will actually be a very busy weekend because as seniors, we have the Royal Dinner here with Central, and then that Sunday, we actually have, that's the weekend of state. So I will definitely be very busy, but I'm going to try to stay focused the very best that I can and hopefully get those videos finished and turned in before my busy, crazy weekend gets started.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome, Samantha. We'd love stuff like that happens.
Breaking news. Yes, absolutely. Anybody else? Where are you guys planning on going to college? Anybody going to work? What's happening? Future plans for everybody?
So back at the beginning of April, I tried out for the Ole Miss Rebelettes, and it went super good. I made it to the final round. I won't find out for a few more weeks. I think the team's going to be announced like in the middle of May, so I don't know yet, but it was super fun, and I'm so excited to go there this fall.
Well, good luck. Well, good luck. That's awesome.
That's a long time to wait for results.
Yeah.
Like a month. That would drive anybody crazy.
Yeah, the anxiety. Well, it's like, having to wait in a room while you found out if you're, going to win nationals or not. That's the same thing.
Exactly.
Well, a little bit of a longer wait, but still having to kind of wait patiently when you figure out if you're going to win this title or make it to where she's trying to do there. So I think all this is awesome, Samantha. We really appreciate these ladies coming on. One thing that I wanted to ask, and anybody can answer this, or multiple people can answer this question. This year, and obviously the way last year ended was very different. You're taking classes on Zoom. You're not in person. So what's it been like coming back to school and getting to see your classmates, getting to see your teammates back inside school? What's that been like as you all have gotten back into in-person learning?
Honestly, how the school schedule is, we have day 1s and day 2s, 3 classes a day. So it is very different, and there's definitely not as many here, but it is enjoyable, like just seeing some people, in the hallway or at a basketball game, and it's just way different than it ever has been.
Well, we appreciate you all coming on with us. Congratulations once again. This is the 6th of the 9 seniors from the national champions, Madison Central. Samantha, what an awesome accomplishment.
It is, totally. I'm so proud of them. And you know what? This dance team's going to have big shoes to fill because that's a lot of seniors. So there's always, younger athletes waiting in the wings. But we are going to miss this group because they are wonderful leaders and really have looked out for all the younger girls and mentored them. So this is a special group of women we've got right here.
Well, I like bringing kids onto the show because you can see their personality. They were all out there joking around, giving each other a hard time, and they said even the two that would do that the most aren't even here, and they talked about the two of them. But it's awesome, ladies. Congratulations. And if you didn't or you weren't able to watch the routine, we do have the video up on WBON TV. You can go back to our Facebook page, find that, or on Twitter, and find that video and watch. And what an awesome job they did. They're not done yet, though. They've got regions and state coming up, so good luck to them in that competition. Congratulations once again, the national champions, Madison Central Indians dance team. We've got one more commercial break to take, Samantha. When we come back, we've got some news. Cole Brown got a nice award over the weekend as well, and we've got a big softball game coming up tonight, so we'll preview that when we come back inside the press box at Madison Central High School. It's the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Hey, why aren't you watching these 30-second walk-arounds?
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, a special thank you to the Madison Central Dance Team for joining us in the press box, the football field, Samantha. We're going to go up top here in about 30 minutes or so, a little bit less than that now, for
big softball game.
Big softball game. We got Madison Central, Madison Southern. Southern snapped a 5-game losing streak over the weekend, so they've got a big momentum now trying to get that back, get back in the win column, string some wins together. And Madison Central's been playing really well. They have won 6 of their last 7 games.
Right.
So really big game tonight. We're going to have it here live for you on WBON. If you're watching the sports show, this live stream will end, and the softball game, we might miss a batter or two, but as soon as we can get everything set up top.
Yeah, we got to move everything, right? We got to move it all from the press box to up top.
Exactly. Got to pack some stuff up top for us. So once we get all that done,
it's a big game.
Hop on the air. Exactly.
Yeah.
We wanted to be here for it. That's what we want to do, the sports show
always.
Here, and be here for a really big game. We're also going to have Madison Central baseball. They're one of the top 10 teams in the state, top 5 now.
And keep growing. I mean, their rankings just keep getting better every year. Yep,
so they're going to have them on Wednesday as they play Scott County in a big 11th region matchup. So some big games coming up this week, and if weather pending, we're possibly going to have Estill County, Madison Southern on Friday. So a busy week for us here as we kind of get back into the groove of being out there for some of the live games. It's going to be a lot of fun this week. But we got some big news yesterday. We were looking back at basketball season. Cole Brown announced by the Lexington Herald Leader, 3rd team All-State. And listen, I've really gotten to know Cole this season. I didn't really talk to him a ton, but talked to his parents a lot.
Family, right.
This young man, he's still weighing his options about where he wants to go play college basketball. He's been talked to by some coaches. He's still got some different options where he can go to.
No breaking news today.
No breaking news yet, but he deserves to be playing basketball somewhere.
He is such an athlete. I mean, he's good at everything. And I think what's the most important factor for me in seeing a player like that, he was the leader on this team. And when they needed him, he stepped up for the big games. And you know what? He's taken them every year. They just have kept getting better and better and better. And to me, that is a quality that it's not easy for a kid to be a leader. They've got school. Some of them work. It's
and
difficult.
In a COVID season, it's even more difficult.
And exactly. So to see him flourish during all of this, and all the seniors, it warms my heart.
I think the most impressive thing about Cole was, him and Tayshawn Chenault were the only 2 players that played every game this season for Central. So they had to go through all of that, got through it. Amazing job by Madison Central. Obviously, that run was so much fun to be a part of. But, you could really tell toward the end of the year he was talking to his teammates more. He was pumping his teammates up. He was pumping the crowd up. And I didn't see the official list, but I'm assuming Ben Johnson was probably 1st team All-State. Deshaun Jackson from Frederick Douglass, probably 1st or 2nd team All-State. Ben Johnson obviously won Mr. Basketball. Cole Brown led his team past Ben Johnson, and past Deshaun Jackson on the way to the state tournament. So
you're saying his output of 3rd?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were some games this year, and I think even Cole would tell you, he didn't play his best, but when it mattered most, he played his best, and the team played their best. And that was obviously a big reason for why they made that run to the state tournament. So congratulations, Cole Brown, 3rd team All-State.
Exactly.
When we find out where he's going, folks, he deserves to go somewhere. We're going to let you know where that is.
And the coaches are who actually vote in this poll, right?
Yep.
So you think about that. It's not based on peers or, your grades, anything like that. It's not that he's not a well-rounded player.
Yeah, or even the media. Like, the media sometimes vote on something.
But this is coaches.
Yep.
So kudos to him and congratulations, because we're proud of him, and I know his family is too.
We also had some big swim and dive news breaking over the weekend as well. I think toward the end of last week there was the regional meets here, or the state tournament meets for swim and dive. So congratulations to those.
I got notes on it all because there were so many athletes here in Madison County. They actually, because of COVID, had to break out into 3 separate zones of different swimmers going to different places. And what was kind of sad is I've got some friends that have divers, like they weren't even allowed into the arena to watch their athlete dive. Some of them seniors. Yeah. So that's kind of sad that, why can't we mask up like we're doing it
everywhere else right now?
Everywhere else. So that was upsetting to me that they couldn't be there to watch their child. But on the news front, Victoria Taylor for model got 2 top 10
wow.
finishes. She got 5th in the 200 free and 4th in the 100 meter breast. So congratulations to her and to the model teammate. We have had Izzy Cooksey on.
Yep.
We've had her on a couple of times. She got 10th in the 200 IM and 16th in the 500 free. That is a very challenging, long race.
You got to be in shape, and you got to have strong arms to do it.
That's exactly right. And their relay team, Emma McDowell was. Well, let me go back. Also on the Madison Central, I've got so many notes, so many kids. Emma McDowell was 29th in the 50 free, and then you've got Cameron Duff was 34th in the 100 backstroke. But the Central Girls Relay, that's where I was headed, was 12th in the 200 medley, 17th in the 200 free, and 30th in the 400 free. So when you get to this state level of competition, there's some of the private schools that, I mean, that's all they do is swim. So it's very challenging. Not that all the other sports aren't, but man, they were up against some very tough competition. And then I want to say for the Madison Central dive team, Cecilia Cobb, she finished 10th. Seth Greer had a career best 4th place in the 1 meter diving. Last year he was 7th.
Oh, that's okay.
So yeah, absolutely, they did great. And then let me make sure I'm reading my notes right. But
Give me your own writing, folks. Sorry about that.
I know, because I'm all over the place with this. I was so excited that I just kept writing stuff down when I was looking it up. But at Southern, you have Davis Pingleton. He's a junior. He got 17th place in the 100 backstroke and 26th in the 50 free. And then you got Logan, I'm not going to say this right, but Pisula, 37th in the back. So extremely excited for them. And also, let's see, want to make sure that I don't leave out. You have at Madison Southern, Reagan Patterson. She was 2nd in the 1 meter state diving meet. And then Lainey Patterson, her sister, the junior, was 7th place.
We had them on the show last year, right? We had,
well, that was the older sister.
That was the older sister.
She's
okay,
now
so
at UK.
Yeah, so the younger sisters are kind of filling in where she
They
left off.
absolutely
That was Flannery,
are.
right?
Flannery,
Yeah.
yes, good
Okay.
memory.
Yeah.
So a lot happening with just think if we had one big school, if you added Model, Central, and Southern, that swim team would dominate.
Oh, yeah.
Not that they're not already, but think about how exciting that would be.
Well, congratulations to all these swimming and dive folks, and an incredible season for them. Before we take another commercial break, folks, we got a softball game tonight. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got an interview with the seniors of the Madison Southern softball team and Coach Abby Stepp. There was some technical difficulties with Zoom calls, as there always is, seems to be like. So there was a couple of, audio glitches during this interview, but we've got that for you. When we come back on the other side of this commercial break, then we'll end the show and get ready for the softball game between Central and Southern. A big one tonight, folks. The last time these two teams met, it was the first game of the year, way back in early April. It was a 9-1 win for Madison Southern. So, does Central get some revenge, or does Southern win a couple of games in a row and try to get some momentum back as we go into May? That'll be coming up tonight. We'll be right back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Hey, why aren't you watching these 30-second walk-arounds?
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
We're joined here by the Madison Southern softball team, Coach Abby Stepp and her 5 seniors. And Coach, we're going to start with you. So before you got on here, I'm going to ask you this question. So there was one person that said that you were always late. And I'm going to ask you, if you could pick which one of these girls was talking about you, who would you think it was?
Tessa.
That's what they said you would say, but it was actually Kaylin that said it. But
that was my next guess.
I knew it was going to be between me and her.
Well, let's talk about the season you are having. Obviously, got out of the gate at the hot start, but I mean, your schedule has been really brutal. And the 11th region, no matter what the sport is, it's always a very competitive region. So talk about how the season's gone so far. You played back in the Dan Cummins Classic, faced some really good teams there. So talk about the way your team has been playing the last couple of weeks and what you really want to see them improve upon as we get ready to go into the postseason here in a couple of months.
Yeah, like you said, we started off pretty hot, and and not that anybody else had to deal with anything different, but not having a season last year, so just taking that time off, like I feel like has really kind of hurt everybody. But we've been struggling just a little over the past couple of weeks. And I tell them all the time, we're not here to play teams that we're gonna, beat by a lot. Just because that's not gonna do us any good as a program, especially when we get to that postseason play. So I try to make sure that we're playing good teams all year long, and because it's only going to make us better. And like you said, our region is pretty packed with really good teams. I think like once you get to the postseason play, there's probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 teams that it could be anybody at the end on any given day. So it's just how competitive our region is with the Lexington schools and then our area, and then we don't have Woodford anymore, but because they're in a different region now. But of course the Scott County schools, so even though they've split, they still have 2 competitive teams. So yeah, but I like it. I think it's good for our program. I mean, why play if you don't want to play and beat the best? So that's kind of like the mentality that we have. One of the things that we've struggled kind of with is that we haven't struggled with as much in the past is offense. We came out in our scrimmage last year and just absolutely came out like we never missed a beat. And then, of course we got shut down, but that's just kind of the way we're used to playing as a program. And that's just not how it's been. We've struggled a little bit. We've had glimpses here and there, but we just haven't been able to be as consistent as I would like us to be. So consistency is what I would like us to improve on.
When you look at the factor of not having the season last year, and the expectations over there were pretty high coming off of that runner-up finish to Woodford County 2 years ago, what was the biggest disappointment of not having a season last year?
Not knowing how far we could have gone. I think just the unknown, I think, is the biggest disappointment. It is obviously a disservice to those seniors last year. There were 5 last year, just like there were 5 this year. And the 5 this year that, didn't get their junior season. So, that all play a pretty significant part in our program, that just played just as much of a part in the program last year as they do this year. So, I think just not knowing how far we could have gone or how far we could have taken this program, because we were on such a roll with record-breaking things happening and wins. And so, yeah, I think it just would have been fun to see how far that team last year could have gone. And it'll be fun this year to see how far we'll go.
Jess, I want to start with you, talking to some of the girls here. You played on a lot of different teams this summer with your travel teams, the team you played overseas with. But talk about the bond that you have with these girls here on the call with us, and just how important it is for you all to play together and have your senior season.
Well, the bond I have with these to me, like, they're my closest for a very long time. So it's very, like, special to get to play this last year. Even though we didn't get to play, we'll step up with the girls to have the same bond that we do.
What is your favorite part about your team?
I would have to say that we're able to, like, pick at each other without getting upset with one another. Like, the seniors, we can pick at each other and still be happy and still play for one another.
Samantha, you were on a basketball team that made some noise in the 11th grade tournament this year. You talk about the historical season that you had on the basketball side. What do you think that this team can do here in softball season, kind of what you all did on basketball?
We have a really good shot to go pretty far in our region. We made some noise in basketball, and we should have went farther than we did, but I still feel pretty confident that with us, we will go pretty far too. We're just going through a little slump right now, but I'd rather have it in the beginning of the season than towards the end.
We'll talk about that slump. What do you think has been the difference from the last 2 weeks as opposed to how you all started the season when you came out hot?
Maybe it's just because, like, we're still trying to find some people that can fill the spots, like, from last year and previous years. And it's just a lot of us, like us 5, we have experience, and everybody else is still trying to, like, get that experience. And it's just, we're all trying to work through it. Like, sometimes we have good defensive nights, not offensive nights. Sometimes we have good offense, some not defense. So, like, we're still trying to figure that all out.
Kayla, I'll talk to you next. Talking to you all before we started recording, you can tell you all have a very cool friendship. You can make fun of each other. You can give each other a hard time. You can talk about Sage's cool color car seats she's got over there, or seat covers. But but just talk about, what makes this team special and why they're so much fun to be around.
I think something that really does make us special is, just like Tessa said, the fact that we can really just, like, pick on each other and know that in the end, like, we're just kidding and we can just still go along with it. But something other than that is, like, whenever we're all playing as a team, is, like, how good we can really be. Whenever we're hitting 1 through 9 and everybody's doing their job, then we're really, really hard to beat. And people don't beat us very often whenever we're doing that. So I think that's one of the main things that's really special, is that whenever we're on and we can't be beat.
Talk about the schedule that you all have played so far and how important you think it is to play those really good teams.
It's definitely really important to play those teams, because that's what's going to make you grow, and that's what's going to make you better and learn from your mistakes. But honestly, there's not been a team that we've played so far that we should not have beat. Every single one of them, we just let it slip away by either not hitting our best or just not playing tight enough defense. And it's not going to get easier from here on out. It's just going to get tougher and tougher, and we're just going to have to step it up and really play tighter.
Alyssa, I'll talk to you next. So talk about the emotions of not having the season last year and how you felt when you finally learned that, okay, we're done. We're not even going to be able to practice anymore.
It kind of did make everybody kind of sad. We all had a talk with Coach Stepp and Coach Z and Coach Pick last year, and we were all really sad. But I don't really know. It's kind of, like, hard to explain, like, if you weren't there and, like, all the emotions that were there at the time. It's just kind of like, it was really sad.
Well, when you look at the way you all started the season and how things have gone, looking back before the season started, What did Coach Step tell you all about your expectations? Did you all set a team goal or maybe some goals that you wanted to accomplish this year?
Yeah, we did. We have this board in our dugout, and we wrote a bunch of goals on there that we wanted to meet this year. And I think a couple of them were to get closer with everybody that came up or like that's new this year. We want to get closer with all those girls. We want to set goals as a team and for ourselves, and we want to win regionals and hopefully make it to state.
Sage, I've got to ask you about the seat covers again, because I mean, I've not seen those in like the 1990s. So you can definitely tell that your personality shines, and whenever you're sitting out there. You and I were the first two on the call here, and we were kind of joking around and cutting up a little bit. But just talk about your role on the team and what Coach Step has told you about what she needs from you this year.
I think just she needs me to like really step up, hitting. Especially like, I don't think she'll ask me something that she wouldn't ask someone else. So, to step up hitting, step up in my roles of, being a senior and having that leadership position. So definitely stepping up and, leading the team more and just showing the girls how to do it.
What do you think is going to be the most important factor in Madison Southern making a run in the 11th region and possibly even further than that?
I think we all need to play as a team, and we all need to bond together. Once we get that solid 9 or 10, we all really just need to start coming together. And like Sam said, I'd rather it happen now than whenever it needs to happen in the postseason.
Coach Step, I'll come back to you and just talk about the team. A lot of times when we, especially this year, we went straight in from basketball season into baseball and softball season without a week or two in between like normal years. One thing that we've really wanted to focus on is trying to showcase all the athletes in Madison County that we can, not just basketball, not just football, but try to showcase everybody. You look at what your team has done in recent years, and look at, Tessa getting her name out there, going to play college softball, some other players doing the same thing. What do you think is the most important factor to try to get softball out there and get it some more exposure?
Softball is just in general has grown so much since I played. I remember when traveling when I was younger, it was not as big too in years past. You can pretty much watch, a game whenever you want to. But as far as, Madison Southern goes, I think that doing exactly what we've been doing is a way to put our name out there. I think that, like my first year, winning only one district, and then I ended up going to the region. And then the second year, winning districts again. That was huge for back-to-back district wins. And then making it to the championship game of the region, which hadn't been done in a long time. And, setting that, I think the girls had to tell me this. I do not pay attention to records or anything like that. I think that I just go out there with the same mentality and we just play. But the girls did tell me, we broke the single season win record that year as well. And of course then, the things that we, could have accomplished last year didn't happen. But I think that just continuing to do what we do and continue to be a competitive threat, especially in the 11th region. Our crowds are quite a bit bigger now than they were when we first started. And I think people enjoy coming out and watching the games, and softball is a little bit more fast paced than baseball. So I think people enjoy, watching a softball game and watching the girls compete. It's fun to watch. So as long as we continue to be competitive and doing what we're doing, I think that we'll continue to get our name out there and hopefully get some banners on.
Well, ladies, I appreciate you all coming on. I know you all have a game tonight, and we got another one coming up on Monday. We're going to be there for that when we take on Madison Central. So we'll continue to be over there and giving you all some coverage. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I love seeing the personalities of them come out. Like, I never would have known that Sage had her car pinked out and decked out in pink. I never, would have known that
Don't forget succulent.
Oh, and this, what succulent? Is that what you said it was? I don't even know what that is. That's a big word for me.
It's a fake plant.
Okay. In your car?
Yeah.
You gotta be careful when you drive around with plants in your car, though. You don't want to get in trouble with that.
They'll hit the windshield a couple times, but it's okay.
But I've always known as Tessa was Jackson's little sister. But listen, I think that's kind of flipped around now, is that Jackson's Tessa's older brother, and it's no longer her in the shadow of her big bro. But I appreciate y'all taking the time out of your day. Good luck the rest of the season. Looking forward to seeing you all on Monday versus Madison Central.